Hi, welcome to your course space. As you know, we are now on remote learning and will be for the foreseeable future. So I wanted to introduce you to some changes that have happened here so that you know what to expect for the remainder of the semester. Starting on the left side of your page, you'll notice that the what's new in the course welcome, that's pretty much the same. If you go down a little bit under communication, there is a new link that says start here. If you click that link, it basically takes you to this page, which makes some recommendation as far as what software to use with this course and how I will communicate with you. So one of the first things I want to tell you is that you are going to have to come to this course space every week in order to get your lecture and your coursework. You want to be sure that you use the Firefox or Google Chrome browsers. With this course space, any other browser is likely to not be fully compatible, so there'll be some things that work and other things that don't. If you are using the course space from your phone, you want to download the Blackboard app, not the Bristol BCC app. The Blackboard app should give you more functionality as far as using the different components of your Blackboard course space. It also should allow you to use Blackboard Collaborate from your smartphone. You'll want to check your bristolcc.edu email regularly, as that's the primary means for communication until further notice. And of course, you'll want to refer to your syllabus, and you now have a course calendar that I'll be updating periodically with important due dates for your assignments. Moving forward, each week I will post lectures to your course space to deliver your lectures and homeworks and other things. So if you go on the left side of your page to chapter 13, you can see kind of an example of this. So originally, I thought I would give you like a pre-quiz and a post-quiz before watching the videos. I've decided not to do that. Instead, you have your learning objectives at the top of the page here, and then as you scroll down, you'll see a video lecture. So this is me lecturing over a PowerPoint slide. I also draw over the slides sometimes when necessary. And then you have a link that gives you a PDF of the slides. So you might find it useful to print the slides out first and then go through the videos. If there are lecture videos that I would normally show during lecture, as I talk about those parts, I usually say something like, now would be a good time to pause this video and go watch and then I'll name what the video is. Those videos that I would show during lecture, they'll be in this folder that says lecture videos. Below that, you have your homework assignments. So Rodney versus Death, for example, is a podcast about rabies viruses. So you get to listen to that. And then under it, there is a Dropbox and a set of questions. So as you listen to the podcast, you'll want to answer these questions. You'll print out the sheet of paper and then write your answers. Then deposit your answers here in the Dropbox. So there are lots of opportunities for those kinds of assignments. You can do one, do none, or do all of them. It's really up to you. Remember, your goal is to get 125 points of homework before the end of the semester. Some folders may have or some weeks may have a folder like this. This is just where I keep track of different articles and videos and things that I've seen that I think are interesting and they pertain to that week's material. They are not required. You do not have to look at those things. You can just ignore that folder if you want. But if it's a topic that's really interesting to you, you may find a few things in that folder that are worth watching or reading. All right. As you move down on the left side of the screen here, so we did the start here. The next thing you'll want to look at is your course syllabus. So if you click the course syllabus, there is a new syllabus. This is the updated one for remote learning. So let me go through this with you really quickly. You'll see the syllabus looks kind of similar, but it's going to say remote learning on it. So you know this is just for this time period that we're in right now, possibly to the end of the semester. My contact information is the same, but what's different is my office hours. So I'm only having office hours for 2 hours a week. Monday from 9:30 to 10:30, I am here in your course space using Blackboard Collaborate. I'll show you that in a few minutes. But you can see me live. So if you have any questions about the videos that you watched or questions about the homework or practice tests or anything like that, this is an opportunity for you to ask and to get some clarification. I do not intend to lecture during this hour, so you don't have to worry about being there. But if there's something in the lecture that wasn't clear, this would be an opportunity for us to chat about it. I also have another office hour on Tuesday from 9:30 to 10:30. This is primarily for my other micro class, but as you all are kind of in the same spot in the semester, if you want to join them, you absolutely could. You just need to send me an email and I'll give you the information for connecting to their chat room. Now, if those 9:30 to 10:30 slots don't work for you, I will do on-demand office hours. On-demand means you request by email to meet for an office hour and I'll make time. The times that I have available are between 4 and 8, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday. So it's either these 2 morning times or, again, Monday, Tuesday, Thursday, and Friday from 4 to 8. As we're not meeting face-to-face for lecture, just remember that every week you'll have new lectures posted to your course space. Right now we're in Chapter 13. Next week we'll be in Chapter 14. I'll also be posting your lab materials online. I'll talk about that in a few minutes. Everything else is pretty much the same. I do intend that we're going to have 4 exams plus a final exam. So you've already done exams 1 and 2. Exam 3 will be on April 20th for your class. So again, exam 3 will be on April 20th. This means it will be an online exam. So the format will be very similar to the format of your first exam. So just heads up on that. The chapters for the exam 3 will be chapters 13, 14, and 15. Okay, one more time, chapters 13, 14, and 15. Exam 4 will be chapters 7 and 20. I am not sure how far we're going to get through all of the material that I have on the syllabus. There's a small chance that exam 4 will actually be more of an open book type of assignment or exam, just because we've lost some time due to coronavirus, and we'll just have to see where we are. But I do know that that exam will be chapter 7 and chapter 20. I anticipate that that exam is going to be on May, I believe it's like May 6th, May 7th, somewhere in there. It's the last day of lecture for your class. Whatever the last Wednesday is, that's when that exam will be. Your final exam, I don't know if it's going to be online or not. I anticipate that it will be, but I don't know. They haven't told us. However you have your final exam, it is going to be on May 13th for your class, I believe. Let me just check my calendar really quickly. I'm pretty sure that that's right. Yes, your exam is on May 13th. Okay. Labs. So your labs are pretty much the same. You'll get the credit for the in-class labs that you did. You've already turned in the questions for microbes in the environment, culture transfer, pure culture, simple stain, and I believe gram stain. Because we're not meeting in the lab, we just can't do effectiveness of hand scrubbing and physical agents of control. So I put a line through those because we're not going to do them. You will get the points for those 2 labs during the virtual lab write-up. This is what's replacing your lab report. I'll get to that in just a minute. You do still have lab checkups. You've done lab checkup 1 and 2 by this point. You are going to have lab checkup number 3 and number 4. The dates for that have been updated in this syllabus, so you can kind of follow where that is. Now let's talk about your virtual lab write-up. These are the lab questions that you're going to do every week to try to earn 68 points. This will replace your lab report, which we would have done if you were actually meeting in the lab doing experiments. So let's take a look at where you're going to get these lab questions for these points. Okay, if we go back to your course and you scroll all the way down, you'll see a new link for virtual lab. If we click that, each week there'll be a new folder that shows up with your lab assignments for the week. When you click the folder for that week, it'll bring you to a page like this where you'll have some objectives for the lab that week and then tasks. These are the things that I need you to do in order to get the information for that lab. So for this week, the main goal was to do the MVIC test. And so the objectives were to state the purpose, name the test, interpret the results. You can get the information for the objectives either by reading in your lab book, so reading pages 107 through whatever the end of that lab is, and then 119 through whatever the end of that lab is, okay, of your lab book, and making notes about each test. You want to make a note of what kind of medium is used, what information the test gives, and possible results. Or you can watch the videos in the MVIC folder. So right here, there's another folder that says MVIC. If you click that, there's a video that someone else has recorded, but has the information that you need for the tests under each of these links. So you can watch those if you prefer. Then here at the bottom, you have the virtual lab weekly questions. It's these questions that you need to answer every week in order to get the points that would have been part of your lab report. So if you just click this, you can see some of the questions are short answer. Many of them are actually multiple answer or multiple choice type questions. Okay. All right. So that's what's going to happen with lab for the rest of the week, the rest of the semester rather. Now let me go back to your syllabus. So that's total, that's going to be 68 points. At the very end of the syllabus, you have your tentative assessment schedule. So again, exam 3 is on April 20th. Exam 4 is going to be on May 6th. Your final exam is on May 13th. Lab checkup number 3, you want to have it done around April 29th. Lab checkup number 4 around May 13th. And then your virtual lab questions, you'll basically have them due anytime between April 15th and May 6th. Okay. At the very end of your syllabus, there's a tentative schedule with due dates for the homeworks that are coming up, as well as for the lab questions and your lab checkups. So that's your updated syllabus. Okay. Your course calendar, I will be updating this with your due dates for your assignment, so you can kind of use this and use your syllabus to stay on track. One of the things that's going to be tempting to do for the next few weeks is to skip class or not tune in to the video lectures. You really want to make sure you stay on track with that. All right, looks like my time is just about up for this review. If you have any questions, please check in with me using Blackboard Collaborate. There's a link for that here. If you click this link, it'll take you to this room, And then where it says office hours, that's where I'll be from 9:30 to 10:30